Hi everyone, my name is Menina Chow. I'm part of the SAP Community team and your host today. You're here to listen to the Community Call Integrate with Experience Management Solutions to evaluate and act on customer feedback. So before we get started, quick housekeeping notes. Feel very welcome to already ask your questions in the Q&A window. We do have an additional Q&A support here to address your questions, but we also have time at the end for a Q&A session. With me is Heather Figurski.
Yeah,
She is
sure.
SAP Customer Experience Product Manager, responsible for the integration of Qualtrics with the SAP Service Cloud and Sales Cloud. You have lots of hobbies and like roller coasters, golfing. I think you added that in your bio, I think. And of course, spending time with your family. I think that's very lovely. And we're really happy to have you with us. Now, Heather, if you'd like to share more words about yourself and start with your presentation, the screen is yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate that. My background is actually in enterprise feedback management. So you could say I have been closing the loop for over 10 years. So I'm really excited to show you what we've done with our integration with Qualtrics. With that being said, I'm going to get started. And if you don't mind, I'm going to remove being on camera just for the presentation to maintain some bandwidth with my children doing online schooling. So I appreciate that, and see if I can do that. We're going to start with the necessary disclaimer. And the agenda for this webinar today is to briefly review SAP's integration plan in the cloud, and to discuss experience management integration and review the key takeaways. The important takeaways from this webinar are integrated experience management matters and what SAP is doing to help you achieve this. We believe that the best run businesses are intelligent enterprises. They apply advanced technologies and best practices within agile integrated business processes. A key part of that strategy is the integration of end-to-end processes. SAP made integrating these processes a top priority. Our breadth of solutions makes this possible. Experience management helps evaluate and act on customer, partner, and employee sentiment. Understanding what your stakeholders want and how they feel is critical to making the right decisions. So what does it mean to win in the experience economy? To win in the experience economy, businesses need to meet customer expectation. Companies that can create meaningful brand experiences capitalize on the fact that 86% of buyers would pay more for a better brand experience, while only 1% feel that vendors meet their expectations consistently. So what do customers expect? Well, a lot, actually, and they lose trust in the companies that don't meet their expectations. And lacking trust means losing customers, sometimes for life. How does a company meet their customers' expectations? They need to listen to customer feedback and empower their own organizations with insights from customers themselves. They need to understand who the customers are and what they're interested in. Customers expect a trusted relationship with a brand. That means personalization without being intrusive. Understand how and what customers want to hear from you, and take action to deliver engaging experiences while protecting people's privacy. Engage with them at every touch point with an end-to-end experience that is tailored to their interests and improved with their feedback. Connected experiences that have seamless handoffs and contextualized engagements based on earlier interactions. Provide consistent experience with your company across all touch points, because if you don't close the experience gap, you can lose a customer for life. So what exactly is the experience gap? The experience gap is when companies fail to deliver an experience that the customers expect. And when this happens, trust in business is lost. Not responding to your customers actually puts trillions of dollars at stake. Customer expectations continue to soar, while customer loyalty is plummeting. Customers feel unheard. 64% of consumers say they never received a follow-up call from a company based on their feedback. Customers feel misunderstood. 61% of consumers switch doing business with a company due to poor service. And as a result, customers have no issue taking their business elsewhere. And according to Accenture, this is creating trillions of dollars of lost revenue globally, something Accenture now refers to as the so-called global switching economy. So what is closing the loop? Closing the loop means that you're listening, understanding, and responding across the customer journey. Qualtrics describes closed loop in a simple way. They say closed loop is when you're able to respond directly to customer feedback. They go on to say that while an unhappy customer will start to ring their alarm bells, the most successful companies see that as an opportunity to resolve the complaint and keep the customer loyal. So the goal of this demo is to introduce the benefits associated with an SAP Service Cloud, SAP Sales Cloud, and Qualtrics XM platform integration. So we're going to listen to a fictional story about a beautifully located hotel in the mountains that's having a little service problem. Since the hotel recently implemented an integrated SAP Sales Cloud, SAP Service Cloud, and Qualtrics XM platform solution, the popular brand of hotel is on its way to identify and resolve customer-related issues to increase the volume of loyal and returning customers. So we're going to look at a customer that's probably much like all of us, John Doe. John Doe and his family enjoyed traveling to explore and experience some of the world's natural wonders, whether it's climbing to the mountains in California or enjoying gelato shops in Florence, Italy. John expects superior service from each of the hotels he chooses for his trip. So John usually begins by shopping online for the best possible deals on hotels from the well-known travel websites. He pays a lot of attention to any negative feedback on these sites because he's trying to avoid any potential problems by securing the hotel with the least amount of negative feedback. John chooses a hotel and books his stay online. So as he books his stay online, in this process, the hotel's website requests that he accept or decline his approval for notifications for future hotel promotions. John selects yes, enters his first name, his last name, and he submits the request. John's acceptance of this request begins a lead generation action via the Qualtrics Web to Lead workflow feature. The action automatically creates a lead in SAP Sales Cloud. From there, after securing his plans with the hotel, with excellent online customer feedback, by the way, John and his family begin their trip with a feeling of confidence. When they arrive at the hotel, they're greeted with excellent support and guidance from the front desk. It was a very quick check-in. The hotel located the data that John submitted through his web to lead feature to assist in a seamless registration process. John checks into his room and began to realize that online feedback is not always accurate. He's discovered that some of the bathroom spaces are in need of cleaning and his Wi-Fi connection is not stable at all. So he's not exactly thrilled with his stay at the hotel. So during his checkout experience, the front desk associate was understanding and accommodating and immediately reduced the price of the room because of John's complaints. Once he checked out, a customer satisfaction survey was sent to John's phone while he was leaving the property. The survey is going to ask questions very similar to what most customer satisfaction surveys will ask. The survey questions were created in Qualtrics XM platform, and they ask about the hotel staff, which he thought was very friendly. How professional were they? They were very professional, and his check-in process was extremely quick. However, when asked about how clean was your room upon arrival, he's going to select very dirty. And he is also going to say that he's probably not likely to stay there again, and he's definitely not going to recommend this hotel to a friend. He's also given the opportunity to enter additional information about why he feels this way. So he enters his information, and what actually is happening is John's survey response automatically triggers a service ticket in SAP Service Cloud. So from within SAP Service Cloud, we can bring up the ticket. And the service ticket was automatically sent to the hotel service advisor who manages the service tickets. The hotel received John's feedback and took action to quickly resolve the challenges that John experienced by upgrading the hotel Wi-Fi service and training the cleaning staff. Upon completing the service ticket, an email was sent by the hotel's service advisor, Marco Knight, to John, stating that the hotel had received his feedback and took action to correct the issue that he had experienced. The email and a post-satisfaction survey was sent to John. The email stated that they received his feedback and that they had resolved his issue, and they would appreciate if he filled out the customer satisfaction survey. So John pulls up the satisfaction survey. And he's very impressed with how quickly they responded to his issue. However, he's not so sure about giving the hotel a second chance. Even though he's skeptical, he's willing to try the offer to give the hotel another chance by accepting the offer and completing the survey. So what happens when John accepts the offer is it automatically triggers a new task for a resource to reach out to John. So again, John's acceptance of the offer has created a task automatically for someone to reach out to John and send him a complimentary 2-night stay. I'll introduce the features of the Qualtrics XM platform now. I'm logged in as a administrator user into Qualtrics, and I'm going to open up the survey called Hotel Customer Satisfaction. So the Hotel Customer Satisfaction survey has all of the questions that we filled out in our customer satisfaction survey that we received post-service ticket completion. And then based on Qualtrics workflow framework, we can set up trigger actions based on predefined conditions. And one example of that is entitled Create Ticket Task. This particular action is triggered once a customer responds to the survey. In my example, the associated condition is based on the survey question, how likely is it that you would recommend our hotel to a friend? The answer to the question is a detractor response. So whenever this question is answered as detractor and it's set to true, this action is triggered. And the action is to create a service ticket within Service Cloud. So the first field that we need to enter is the CPI tenant URL. This is not the URL for the C4C tenant. This is the cloud platform integration URL, and it's necessary for pre and post processing. And since CPI creates a communication bridge between Qualtrics and SAP Service Cloud, we have to enter this endpoint here. Next, you're going to select the ticket type that you want to be created when this particular condition is met. So in this scenario, we're going to say it's a complaint. The subject for the service ticket, this could be something static, like upset hotel guest, or issues with the cleanliness of room, or feedback from hotel customer, or it could be automatically set using response data from the survey. And I'll get to that a little bit more in a second. What is the priority level that you want the service ticket created with when these conditions are met? And for the email ID, this is used for identifying existing accounts and contacts in SAP Service Cloud. This ID can be drawn from the Qualtrics contact record or from the survey itself. And I have selected to draw the email information directly from the email within the survey. And then last is the description. And the description definitely can also be static, but it makes more sense to use the information that the customer provided. So in that field where John had the opportunity to enter in more information about his stay and why he responded the way that he did, we're going to pull that text into our description of the service ticket. And then lastly, I have enabled to connect the ticket to an existing SAP Service Cloud account. And I've done that so that the ticket is actually related to an account with a contact if it can find one based on the unique identifier. And I've also linked the SAP Service Cloud ticket information to the Qualtrics survey response so that that information can be used in Qualtrics for reporting purposes. And then once this is saved, anytime that this survey is taken, what happens is the service ticket is created when that condition is met. So far I've shared a live demo of how a fictitious hotel could utilize the integration that we have established to completely automate feedback to action. We've touched on how to set up only one of these scenarios, but we have many other features that I would like to kind of briefly go over. So let's briefly look at the other use cases that you can implement today, allowing you to complete the customer journey. So the features that we have initiated and implemented are the closed service ticket, customer satisfaction, which you saw that working today, and it sends a customer satisfaction survey based upon service ticket closure. Workflow rules in SAP are defined on the ticket object, and they send out the survey to the customer via email based on different conditions. The service ticket creation. So we close the loop with negative feedback. So we automated service ticket creation based off feedback responses when certain conditions are met in Qualtrics. And you're going to implement this feature to reduce churn by responding to customer issues derived from feedback. This requires the installation of the SAP plugin from the Qualtrics marketplace and installation of the iFlow. In our general response mapping, this particular feature allows you to automate any business process with actionable items. You can create or update any SAP Service Cloud or SAP Sales Cloud object. This is set up by using the OData service configuration profile located in the administrator section of SAP. This will allow you to invoke the OData API calls and create the desired business objects. So you could automate any type of object creation or object update based on conditions met on a survey. This is what we used when we created the task for them to send John free 2-night stay. And then we have the web to lead feature, which drives leads into your SAP Sales Cloud. And that could be used for a contact us on your website. It could be used for any type of trade show or anything along those means where you need to get web information into a lead into your Sales Cloud. So acting on feedback should never be an afterthought. Calculating your customer satisfaction KPIs should never come before actually making your customer satisfied. Being able to automate action to engage with your promoters and reach out to your detractors in real time should be more important than numbers on a customer experience dashboard. Great KPIs come from great customer service, and great customer service comes from acting on the information that your customers provide. So thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to share this with you today. I have referenced our help documentation within the slide that will be provided. And there's additional information on your path to becoming an integrated intelligent enterprise. So with that said, are there any questions?
Thank you, Heather, and also thank you for the demo. Yes, this is a call to action for the participants here to take the opportunity and ask your questions, maybe regarding the demo. I received a few from Ravi. So Ravi asks, in the demo, you showed to create ticket, lead, and tasks. In the similar line, can we create other objects like visit or customer?
Yes, yes, you can use the general response feature, which allows you to create or update any object that's available in the OData API. And you do that from within SAP Administrator. There is a feature that is called the OData Service Configuration Profile that easily allows you to set that up. It's very user friendly. You pull the object information in and you tell the system what fields are mandatory. And if you're if you're choosing to update, you need a key field. And then other than that, you add the fields that you want to enter information in from the Qualtrics response, save that, and you just map those fields like you do with the service ticket creation. It's very easy to do that.
Nice, thank you. Another question was whether customers could enhance the process flows.
Can we elaborate on what that question actually means? With the general response mapping, you can automate any type of business process that you want triggered from a customer response. So it could be, like was mentioned before, it could be visit or phone call, or it could be that you're updating an opportunity or a campaign or something along those lines.
Well, that's I think going in the direction of being able
Okay.
to update those. It's a good question. Yeah, good answer. I mean.
Okay.
Okay, then let me check real quick. If there are any additional questions? Can we make an update to business objects, like in the example of reopening the ticket?
So general response mapping does allow you to update existing data. And you do that by using a key field and choosing to update that object. So yes, you can do that with general response mapping.
Cool, okay. Yeah, I think you provided a great demo, which is why probably all questions answered, everything clear. For everyone watching the recording and thinking, I do have some questions, where do I post them? You can go to community.sap.com and feel free to post your questions anytime regarding the customer experience, integration strategy, everything that you want to know. Yeah, with that, I'd like to close this call and say thank you so much, Heather, for taking the time, presenting, and also doing the demo. And thank you, everyone, for participating and watching this call.
Thank you very much.